Tree. Go on. Gammon awaits you at the foot of the great tree. Go on, good hunter. Good hunt.
blasphemous murders, blood-crazed fiends. Atonement for the wretches, by the wrath of Mother Goss. Mercy for the poor man.
Let's dance.
Let the ink flow. It's locked on you.
Why, yes, I'd love a dance. My, what lovely feet.
Take your shots. Eyes up, Monoko. Ready?
Let's carve a path.
Let the ink flow.
What have we here?
Ungad!
Incoming!
Expedition 39. Albert. Edith's not back. So until then, we stay on recon. All these masks are freaking me out. They're fucking creepy. I swear I could hear one of them singing. The Nevrons around here behave so strangely. Almost like they don't really want to kill us. They still do, though. This place is making me crazy. Maybe if I wore one of these masks, they'd leave me alone.
Get ready. Minoko, get ready. This will hurt. What lovely feet. Bring it on.
Let's spill some ink. My sword is dead. Verso, dodge! Not leaving you behind. Okay. On me.
Lune, attention. Well, well. Lune, attention.
Yeah, it definitely hurts him. I think I saw one more path.
That's good. We're weakening him.
This feels off.
Good stuff.
Everything's destroyed.
Normally, I enjoy a little destruction, but this doesn't feel right.
It's rage.
spicy. Oh, really?
I've lived through worse.
I can do it. Flames. Brave. Not giving up.
I'd love a dance. Violence.
Not giving up. There's no dodge.
obscur. Minoko, get ready. Let's cover path.
Let's dance. The dance begins. Witness the flames. You can't escape.
Time to lead.
Please survive.
Get ready.
I'm ready.
Oh well. I'll manage.
Let's spill some ink. Ready to parry.
Get ready.
The bitter dregs.
Just try it.
The fun begins.
Watch out, Mael. This will hurt. What lucky feet. Incoming.
Not looking good. From fire. Ready to parry. I can do it.
Well, that will help.
Art can be a window, and art can be a mirror. And great art is both. Son, you'll never be a true artist if there's always a mask between you and the viewer, especially when the viewer is you.
I'll manage.
Time to bleed.
Incoming.
Okay.
Your turn to dance.
Okay.
Careful now.
I've lived through worse.
This will hurt.
Okay. Witness the flames.
What have we here?
I can do it.
Ready to strike.
Getting spicy. Got this. Now the fun begins. Ow, wow. Now the fun begins.
Let's dance. Finesse and grace. Let's dance.
You're outmatched.
Not giving up.
Your turn to dance.
Last-ditch effort.
I'm reaching for the stars, the walls I've seen for so long. My tears, misery, all is wrong. I'm reaching for the stars, the walls. My heart.
Now the fun begins.
I try to remember the time that we shared the laughter and love, the love.
Get ready.
Your turn to dance.
On me. Time to hit big.
Getting spicy.
I'm reaching for the stars, the walls I've seen for so long. My tears, misery, all is wrong. I'm reaching for the stars, the walls I've seen for so long. My heart, my soul, all around.
This will hurt. Watch out, my elf.
I try to remember the time that we shared the laughter and
I've lived through worse.
the laughter and love.
I think that's all of them.
We should be able to fight the Axon properly now.
Let's answer this thing's invitation.
Weirdo?
Flames. Brave. I'm ready. Witness the flames. On me. On fire. I'm ready. Finesse and grace. Let's dance. From fire.
Beautiful. Fomikeri sakara ki pulero. Fomikira se.
Monoko, what does that mean? He who guards truth with lies.
Exactly what it sounds like.
Guard as in protect? Or guard as in control?
Yes.
I think you pissed him off.
Ready to parry. Okay. Witness the flame.
Your turn to dance. Incoming!
It's locked on you. I'll do it.
Ready. The power of blood. Not looking good. Let's push forward.
Watch out, Mael.
Finesse and grace.
Sweet taste of battle.
It likes you. Careful now.
Not giving up.
People want so badly to know what's behind the mask. Front, back, recto, verso. Great art is both window and mirror. Whether it's your mask or theirs.
Harmless, huh?
He's the real Axon.
Child, we all need masks, but how you use them.
Merde. Can't leave us yet.
Watch out, my owl. Disaster expedition, eh?
You can't escape. I'm okay. Okay.
I've lived through worse. Disaster expedition, eh?
Try me. Here's your card. Brace yourselves. Well done. The power of blood. Let us stay long. I'm ready.
Ladies, gentlemen, and expeditioners of some ages, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has quite the lovely cast of characters, and before I go any further, this is an endgame video, and so I want to make sure that if you are not at least past
No spoilers in today's Clair Obscur Expedition 33 video. Hail and matches, it's me, Spot the Kid, and if you get any struggles in the game, you won't have after watching this video, because I will give you build for every single character. Fast, strong and fun to play. Let's start with Gustav. Use any of your skills, you have a chance to what is so important to understand how she works. Whenever you use any of your skills, you have a chance to consume specific strains. I will just call them effects, and they can enhance abilities. There are 5 different types: ice, fire, lightning, earth and light, and light can work as any of other 4 types. So, to use her efficiently, you need to use her abilities in a smart rotation. And when you're leveling Lune, I like to start from the left part. Basically, we always start with Ice Lance and Immolation, and that's already a nice combination. Ice Lance will deal ice damage, slow target and give us 2 elements, ice and light. Then Immolation can consume light and generate fire element to burn down target with extra damage, and we can start rolling. So that's my skill tree I'm using right now. In early game, it's definitely smart to level up Electrify, because it uses just 1 action point, and you can
Lightning, strike! Not looking good.
Time to hit big.
Take cover!
Coming.
My blade.
Cut him down. Break.
Lightning dart!
Bring it on.
A storm is coming. A brilliant light. Let's finish this.
Incoming. Let's carve a path. Time to strike.
Let's dance. Let's shine. Witness the flames.
I'm ready.
Let's carve a path.
Now's our chance. Go forward. Careful, Verso.
You can't escape. We did it.
No, wait.
We all need masks.
This mask can't hurt me. Because it is me.
Okay? What happened?
Axon down. Let's bring this to the curator.
vice versa, wasn't it? Renoir.
Me? You want me to give it to you?
Why?
I saw...
What happened?
I saw... It was... Renoir?
I used to see him in my nightmares too. He can be, quite traumatizing.
You have nightmares too? About Renoir?
Yeah. He's, hard to shake.
Yeah.
In Lumiere, did your parents choose your name?
Yeah, I guess. Why?
Mael means chief and prince, or, I guess, princess.
What are you talking about?
The meaning behind your name.
Oh. What made you think of that?
You said you were an unwelcome surprise, but I think even though your birth was unexpected, it was still celebrated. Your name shows how your parents felt about you, what kind of life they dreamed for you.
Chief. Guess they had bigger dreams for me than I ever did.
Why? What did you dream of?
I didn't.
You must have wanted something for the future.
No. All I wanted back then was to leave Lumiere and see some of the world before I gommaged.
Well, you've certainly done that. What do you dream of now?
I don't know. Still figuring that out. What about you, though?
What do I want? I guess I'm still figuring that out too.
Well, what did you used to want?
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before the fracture, I studied piano at the conservatory. I loved it. I really miss performing at the concert hall. When the lights dim and the room is hushed and the first notes echo through the chamber, I can just lose myself and feel the music through my fingers. Every time I play, it feels like my heart's about to break from the beauty of the notes.
That's lovely.
I miss that a lot.
Maybe when this is over, we can fix up the opera house and you can perform for us.
It would be my pleasure.
I want my first concert to be yours. And don't worry, I'll make sure the room is packed. I'll put up posters everywhere in town.
Oh, no pressure, huh? All right. I guess I'd better start practicing.
You have night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About?
The odds of killing axons. Close, but not zero.
Not zero.
One down, one to go.
The next one will be harder. You're always so calm about everything.
Is that a question?
An observation. Lune's intense and obsessed. Mael is nervous and eager, but you're calm.
Why is that strange? I guess. Death and I, we've walked a long road together.
I guess that's true for me too.
Death is a friend who will welcome me home.
Friend's not the word I choose.
Life is easier when you think of death as a friend.
Is it? Or are you just dressing it up to manage your fear?
Does it matter? How you view things is up to you. Life continues either way.
It's an interesting philosophy. For someone so young.
True. I'm not quite as old as you. Why don't you share some of the wisdom you've accumulated over your very long life?
Oh, how kind of you to acknowledge my wisdom. Can you, mention my wisdom to Minoko sometime?
Oh, actually, isn't Minoko even older? Eskie too. Perhaps I should ask them instead.
No, please do. You'll probably learn valuable things about Nevron feet and rocks. All I can offer is another story.
I'm not really in the mood for stories tonight.
Oh. And here I had prepared something truly dark and heart-wrenching.
Save it for tomorrow. Let's do something else tonight.
What do you have in mind?
That depends. How adventurous are you feeling?
You mean like hunt Nevrons? What?
I'm waiting for you to connect the dots.
Oh, you mean, adventure.
You've been alone too long on this continent. When was the last time you seduced someone?
Not counting Minoko. I'll admit it's been a while.
So?
Do you even need to ask?
One down, one to go.
The next one.
About?
The odds of killing.
Not zero.
You have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems you were right about these expeditioners. A most impressive group.
They've grown on you, haven't they?
Maybe.
They have. Minoko, let me cut your hair.
Why would I be foolish enough to do that?
Just a trim. You look like an overgrown mob.
I beg your pardon. Have you looked in the mirror lately?
Yes, my hair is impeccable. Stop being grumpy. Come on.
You first, then.
Fine.
Actually, that does look nice. Okay, I'm in. Style away. Ooh, yes, indeed. This is quite fetching.
Great. We're twins. I recognize that look. What's got you so grumpy?
Those masks.
What about them? Are you jealous?
I'm supposed to fly too.
Maybe stop losing your rocks then. How do you lose them anyway? Don't you swallow the rocks?
Sometimes I love too hard. I can't control myself and...
Okay, yeah, I see. It's, hard to control.
Those masks.
What about them? Are you maybe.
Sometime.
Okay, yeah. Do you mind if I, play here?
What song was that? I feel like I know it.
Yes, an old song I used to play to my sister.
Can you play another?
Sure. We have all night. Okay, ready?
Are you ready?
I am ready. I will need a bit of space. All right. Esky, you ready?
You have no...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The architecture looks very different here.
This kind of place never existed before the fracture.
It's beautiful. Feels surreal.
Is she the Axon?
Sirène, she who plays with wonder.
It's so...
Lune, what's going on?
I don't know.
She's manipulating your emotions. You have to focus. Remember why you're here. Be careful. They call her she who plays with wonder. But what she really does is play with your head.
Let's move fast, before we all lose our minds.
Wow.
Don't look at her for too long or you'll go insane. I've seen people jumping off a cliff just from looking at her.
It is mesmerizing.
This dance feels familiar. This is kind of dancing taught in Lumiere.
I don't think so. Never seen it.
storm is coming.
Just try it.
Okay. Please survive. On guard.
Let the ink flow.
Lune, watch out. Break. Flames. Rain. Lune, watch out. On guard.
Let us stain them.
Let's carve a path.
Okay.
I'll manage.
Spill some ink. Okay.
Danger! Let us stain them.
Just try it.
Chroma is flowing. Ready to evade.
Not impressed.
Pirlé, Renoir, Aïda, mais toujours son fils perdra. Verseau damné, Maël Norlé, Eternale illuminare cara. Verseau va déchirer calma, Maël triste et mourant, amour vivant. Va déchirer calma, Renoir pleura. Verseau damné, Alina enferma.
It's not working. I gotta get this. Oh, hi. Let's start from the top. On your handlebars, you have a left and right shifter. The left controls the front derailleur, and the right controls the rear derailleur. The derailleur is the part which helps the chain move to a different position, whether making it easier or harder to pedal. With these shifters, there is a thumb and index trigger. The trigger releases to a smaller ring, and the thumb trigger pushes to a bigger ring. The same holds true for the front. The higher the numbers are, the harder it is to pedal. And with the lowest numbers, the easiest it is to pedal. To make things simple for you, ideally, whichever number you have on the left shifter corresponds to where you should have it on the right. Meaning, if I am on a higher number on the left, I should be at the higher numbers on the right. For an example, if I am on the 3 on the left shifter, I should be on 5 and up on the right shifter. And if I'm on number 2, I should be between 2 to 8. If I am on number 1, I should be between 1 to 4. So in short, if I am on number 3, I should be at the higher gears in the back. If I am on 2, I should be in the middle. And if I'm on 1, I should be at the lower gears. Let me show you why. The main reason is you don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams. Why? It would be bad.
Yes, it is bad for your drivetrain. On this particular gear, we're on 1 on the left, which is your smallest chain ring on the front crank. In the back, we are on number 9, which is your smallest in the high gear. As you can see here, there's a good angle to the chain, which we do not want. So when I put it to the proper position, right now I'm on 3 on the left, which is your big chain ring on the front. As you can see, the chain is perfectly straight, which is what we want. The opposite is true as well. So if I go to the big chain ring in the back, you can see a pretty good angle. And you don't want to do that because it's putting too much pressure on the teeth and too much pressure on the derailleur below, which you can't see, but a lot of tension on the chain. You don't want to do that. If you have the chain in these positions, you're putting tons of stress on the chain and the rear derailleur while wearing down your teeth much quicker. It's also one of the main reasons why you may have had a broken chain. Basically what you're doing is you're applying back and forth pressure on the chain, and then eventually, snap. Another reason why you may have a broken chain is if you're applying too much pressure while changing gears, especially on an uphill. Never change gears on an uphill. If your gears are not changing with one click of the shifter, then there's the possibility that the rear derailleur hanger is bent or that the cable tension is not tight enough. In fact, if you want a video of how to adjust your gears, please let me know in the comments below. Again, you want to keep it as straight as possible. So if I'm on 3, I should be at the high gears in the back. So it's a 9, 8, 7, 6, even a 5 is fine. After that, it starts to get too much of an angle. When you start getting to that position, you could start going down to 2, and then you can go back up to a 7, 8, 9. You're fine in those positions. Usually when you're on 2, you could go pretty much anywhere. But idea is try to keep it as straight as possible. So now I'm on the big chainring in the back, which is your lowest gear, number 1. And if I put it to the right position here, you can see the chain is back to straight, which is what you want. In closing, basically just keep in mind that we want the chain to be as straight as possible. This will make the bike more efficient and last way longer. We hope that this video was explained well enough for you. And if you like this video, please give it a share and a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. Thanks for watching.
The pros spend day in, day out on their bike and changing gears at the back of the bike, and your left-hand shifter will control the gears up front. Now up here you've got 2 chain rings, and I like to call them the big ring and the little ring. Usually you'll have 2, sometimes you'll have 1, sometimes you'll have 3. And essentially the big chain ring is a harder gear, and the little chain ring in the inside of the bike is a smaller, easier gear. And this is your front mech, and this will essentially change the gear from your big ring to your little ring.
On the rear cassette here, it's actually the smaller cog, which is the harder one. So when you're traveling fast, you need a bigger gear to be able to match the speed you're riding at. That's when you're looking for those smaller cogs down the block to the right-hand side. The bigger cog, that is easier for easier riding when you're traveling up climbs. You may hear these cassettes being described in terms of their speed, so either an 8-speed, 9-speed, 10-speed, all the way up to 12-speed. There's even a 13-speed option out there now. That is the amount of cogs on that rear cassette. The benefit of having more is that there's smaller jumps, smaller gaps between the gears, so you're not having to jump quite as much to get that cadence right. You might also have heard of your gears be described as an 11-28 or a 52-39. Now those numbers refer to the smallest and biggest gear on the cassette and also on those front chain rings, and they can be used to describe different sorts of ratios that you can put onto your bike to get the correct gears for the sort of riding you're doing. Those numbers, the 11-28 for example, refer to the amount of teeth on each chainring, so on the cassette and on the chainring at the front. So a 52 chainring at the front, that's got 52 teeth the whole way round. Now you can swap these out if you so wish. Most bikes would come with standard gearing, but you can opt for harder gears or easier gears if you want. You can do this by swapping out that cassette on the back, putting one in with the gears that you'd like to match your riding, and same on the front. You can swap those chain rings out to match the sort of riding you're up to too. For example, we're out here in Girona, there's plenty of mountains, so for me personally I'd look to opt for easier gears so I can cope with those mountains better. But at the same time, if you live somewhere that's super flat, maybe with absolutely banging tailwinds where you're often riding quite fast, you may look to opt for a harder gear to match that style of riding. So that is gears explained. Now though, how to actually get the most out of those gears on your bike. And it's not as easy as just saying you need to use this gear for that climb or that gear for that flat road, because everyone is different. Everyone has their own personal preference and their own personal cadence they prefer to ride at. Now, I actually prefer to spin my legs a bit more than man-on, for example, and cadence is actually revolutions per minute, or the amount of times one leg does one full revolution per minute. And a good ballpark figure to go off is somewhere between 80 to 95 revolutions per minute. You can use a bike computer with a power meter to measure this, but if you don't have one, you can simply count the amount of revolutions per minute with a stopwatch on your bars or a watch on your wrist.
anticipate. Now this is a super important one because there's nothing worse than going into a steep climb, being in the wrong gear, then having to clunk down all the gears because your bike is not going to thank you for it. You want to start preparing for the climb maybe 20 meters before you hit. Start moving your gears down and do it nice and gradually. So then when you get to the really steep bit of the climb, you're in a nice easy gear and you can pedal up efficiently. You don't want to be in your hardest gear like this, going up and then clunking down under load. Big no-no. Obviously sometimes steep climbs come out of nowhere, catch you off guard and just pop up out of the blue. But then it's even more important to keep looking forward and anticipate when a steep climb is coming so you're never caught out.
It could be that you're not changing gears as often as you need to. It's really important to try and maintain that same cadence because it will really help with your rhythm when you're riding out on the roads. It's very rare to have such a uniform gradient, have that same slope staying exactly the same wherever you're riding. In reality, roads are always pitching, different gradients, always changing. So you need to adapt how you're pedaling to the terrain which you're riding on. So try and make those small gear changes to keep that cadence the same and avoid leaving it too long where you get to the point that you really lose your rhythm and have to totally start again to find that preferred style to your pedaling. It's also worth saying that you don't want to change gears too often and overthink trying to always be in the right gear, because if you are pushing on and the riding's getting tough and maybe you're pushing on over a smaller climb, there are times when you do need to just dig in, push through the effort, stick in that gear you're in and try and conquer the road you're on in the best shape possible. If you're always changing gear too often, then what's going to happen is you're never going to have the opportunity to put the power down in the first place. So sometimes it does pay to keep things simple, stick in that same gear in and push on through.
Are you finding that your gear changes aren't the smoothest and it's disturbing your riding a little bit? Well, we've got a few tips to help with that. And essentially it all comes down to a release in pressure in your pedals when changing gear. Now we aren't talking about backing off completely, but just a slight little release in pressure is going to make a big difference and make a gear change nice and smooth. Now this can take a little bit of practice, so next time you're out on your bike, give it a go until you find just the right amount of pressure release in the pedals to make those gear changes nice and smooth.
Something you do really want to avoid in terms of gears is cross-chaining, and that is when you have too aggressive an angle of the chain. So it's like you're in the big ring at the front, the big ring at the back, and the chain is so diagonal that it puts quite a lot of pressure on the front derailleurs and the rear derailleurs, which help you to change gear in the first place and potentially damage a chain or chain rings, or even lose your chain whilst you're riding, causing you to have to stop and put it back on again. Instead, you want to maintain a more relaxed angle on that chain. So don't be putting it all the way to the back of the cassette. If that's the case, then think about changing the gear at the front. Now, most electronic gears will have a system in place which will avoid you actually doing this in the first place. And of course, some of you will be using one by. That's only one chain ring at the front. And in this case, you don't need to worry about cross-chaining at all to use the full spread of those gears at the back. But cross-chaining is something you want to avoid, especially on climbs. If it can affect you, it can lead you with a nasty surprise. The gradient starts to bite, so always be conscious of what gear you're in at what time, so it can sneak up on you too. And you're getting pounded by your riding buddies and you forget what gear you're actually in before it's too late. There you go then, that is hopefully a bit of advice that will get you changing those gears a bit more efficiently.
Yeah, hopefully this video has helped you. And if you have any of your own tips, please drop them in the comment section below because we'd love to read them as
What is the best pedalling technique and how do you get it? Two of the most enduring questions in cycling. And it's no surprise because when you look at other endurance sports like running or swimming or cross-country skiing, their technique can make or break you. And watching a professional cyclist is like poetry in motion, efficiency personified. So what is the secret? Well, in this video, we are going to look at what exactly is the most efficient technique, why, and how to get it. But it might not be what you're expecting, given that pedaling is second only to balancing on the list of the most important skills in cycling. And actually, if you're riding indoors, it's probably number one. We are still trying to unlock its mysteries. And a lot has changed in recent years. Certainly since I made this. There's a well-worn phrase which is to pedal in circles. Essentially, this means that you should think about using all 360 degrees of the pedal stroke, not just pressing down at the beginning of the stroke. Firstly, let's distill it right back, shall we? So the action of our legs moving up and down on the pedals is how we turn energy from our bodies into power to drive the bike forward. The proportion of the total energy that our body is using that goes into the bike as watts is known as our gross efficiency. Although, given that our bodies are only about 20% efficient, we should probably rename it as gross inefficiency instead. The majority of the energy becomes heat. As mentioned, other sports like swimming or cross-country skiing or running show a very clear relationship between training and gross efficiency. The more practice you do, the more efficient you get. But there's very mixed evidence for this in cycling. In fact, there are widely accepted studies that show that there is no significant difference in gross efficiency between elite cyclists and recreational riders, total beginners. Incredible, isn't it? But that's exactly what a famous study from Mosley et al. Found. This would infer that in spite of professional cyclists looking like efficiency personified, there was no measurable difference, which kind of goes against our basic instincts, and it's sort of one of those things that we hold in cycling to be an absolute truth. And actually this popped onto my radar in unexpected fashion relatively recently when I was listening to a Peter Attia podcast where he interviewed the Norwegian triathlon turned cycling supercoach Olaf Alexander Boo. There he was talking about the importance of technique in swimming because you're floating and you're unsupported. Whereas in running, technique was less important because the ground was a constant. However, it was still more important than in cycling, where technique was effectively non-existent because you are fixed in position with the saddle, the handlebars, and your pedals. Now, clearly there is a technique to cycling, otherwise triathletes wouldn't fall off so much. No, cheap shot. Professional cyclists are not doing any better these days either. But if efficiency is the same across the board, you'd think, therefore, that the idea of an optimal pedaling technique would be something of a myth. And are professional cyclists really only as efficient as complete amateurs? Well, perhaps not quite. You see, more recent studies have investigated things in a different way. Rather than keeping power outputs the same between pros and amateurs, they looked at power as a percentage of VO2 max, so effectively testing the pros at a higher power output. Hopker et al. Saw the first differences, and then a subsequent meta-analysis showed that yes, gross efficiency could be improved through training, but only by a small amount, on average 1.4%. Now, is that related to pedaling technique though? Do, as common sense would suggest, more experienced and stronger cyclists have a better pedaling technique? Well, no. Firstly though, what actually is a mechanically efficient pedaling technique? Well, typically we would measure something called force effectiveness, which is the ratio of force applied to the crank that's moving it versus total force applied to the crank. So if you think about it in terms of the balance between one leg pushing down on the pedal and the other weighting the pedal down as it's coming back up. So if, for example, you were to imagine a robot pedaling a bike, the ideal way for it to do so would be for it to be pulling up on the pedal at 9 o'clock, pulling back on the pedal at 6 o'clock, pushing down on the pedal at 3 o'clock, and pushing forward on the pedal at 12 o'clock. Now, in reality, humans do not do this. And that observation includes elite and professional cyclists. In fact, studies in which riders have been actively encouraged to pedal in this way have shown that whilst a rider's mechanical efficiency can improve, although only ever by about 3%, at the same time, it reduced their gross efficiency. So it took more energy to become more mechanically efficient, counterintuitively. A really good potential explanation for this came from the late Professor Louis Passfield. He told me that our muscles are really good at repeated short contractions, but are less good at sustained so-called isometric contractions. And that's because with those repeated short contractions, the muscle gets time to resynthesize a high energy molecule ATP. That's the one that powers muscle contraction. And by contracting, the muscle effectively helps to pump fuel and oxygen through it, flushing away any byproducts of metabolism. If you try to change your pedaling technique to become more mechanically efficient, you'll be asking your muscle to contract for longer, thereby reducing the amount of recovery that the muscle gets in each pedal cycle. The metabolic cost for doing this is far greater than any mechanical advantage that you might get by directing your forces a little more optimally. Effectively, you are requiring more energy, you are less efficient in spite of producing the same power output. There is a lot of debate about whether or not force effectiveness is actually a useful metric, in part because what we've just talked about, but also because you can get wildly different pedaling techniques, but yet still get a similar force effectiveness ratio. So we will leave the theory aside for a moment, and instead we will take professional cyclists as a proxy for optimal. So can we see a difference between amateurs and pros when we look at pedaling technique in spite of there being only minimal differences in gross efficiency? Yes, but only if they're pedaling hard enough. You see, this is super interesting, I think, but the best piece of research I could find on this was from Bouillard et al. And they tested professional cyclists against elite cyclists, and they found that at lower power outputs relative to their maximum power outputs, professional cyclists actually had a lower force effect.
Here's 10 more things I wish I knew when I started cycling. Number 1. Never fly with a soft bike bag. This one I learnt the hard way.